What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blue J Tay, and I am back again with another one. The psychology of self-deception. The root cause of self-deception is fear, anxiety, and desire, which can all cloud our judgment. So once we put ourselves in a position to acquire these traits, it makes it a lot easier for us to mentally clock out. And in other words, just lie to ourselves. But the lies that we tell other people are nothing compared to the lies that we tell ourselves. If it takes for us to have to withhold information, or maybe not even tell the full truth, then we are doing something wrong. And I feel like as humans, we oftentimes get caught up in patterns like this, where we may not be where we want to be at. If we're not putting in the work that we need to put in, or if we're simply not seeing the results that we want to see, it puts us in a position where we may lie in order to be perceived a certain way. But my question to y'all is, how does a person deceive themselves and get away with it? How does a person go their whole entire lives lying about who they truly are, lying about their accomplishments and where they're going to be, and actually believe this concept? And I was doing a little research, and one thing that I learned is that it's not necessarily about the lie in general. It's about the person feeding themselves what may seem or what could potentially be true. And this thought of it potentially being true is enough for that person to carry on this lie and act as if it's something that's accurate. And for example, I see this happen time and time again when somebody may have the potential to do something or may have the potential to be great. They may tell themselves where they're going to be or what they should be doing in order to make that thought of not being where they are or not being where they should be a lot easier to digest. But in reality, they're doing nothing more than deceiving themselves. And if we do this enough, then this can eventually cause us to lose sight of who we really are and what's real. Because if you're living in this false reality that you've made up based on lies, over time it's going to get hard for you to tell the difference between what's real and what's not. And if you build a life based on lies, based on you deceiving yourself, based on this image, at some point it's going to be a lot easier for you to cope and deal with these things if you just play along. So to avoid that, we need to work on living the life that we actually deserve and desire to live, building the foundation for the lifestyle that we know is best suitable, not only for ourselves but those that we have around us. This is the only way that it's going to be possible for us to wake up and be genuinely happy about where we're at, not having to tell ourselves these lies in order to keep going, in order to feel like we're doing something or to feel like we're someone. But self-deception is nothing more than a form of deterioration. And I feel like what so many of us don't realize is that no matter what it is that you choose to do, if you wake up and you're doing things repeatedly, at some point, if you do them for long enough, it is going to become a pattern. It is going to become a habit. And it's not going to be or take much effort for you to continuously do these things in the future. So if you allow yourself to develop this habit of lying to yourself, not only is this a bad habit that you're building on and you're allowing to grow, this is what's going to define you. This is what's ultimately going to be the cause and the start of your breakdown. Because at some point, each and everything that you put out into this world is going to come back to you. Whether it's lies, whether it's the honest truth, one day you're going to have to face everything that you put out. And if you put out nothing but lies, it's going to be much harder for you to maintain this version or this image that you've created in your head for the world to perceive you as. So take the time today to be honest with yourself. Be honest with the person that you're creating. And one thing that I realized that really helped me in terms of not lying to myself about not only potential, but where I'm headed, is just asking people around me, asking the people that truly and genuinely care about me for feedback. You can get a mentor, or you can just ask someone who's honest. But the people looking from the outside in often view things, for the most part, as they truly are. So you asking for feedback on your current position will give you a general idea of how the world views you. And if you're doing what you need to do, if you're putting out the good energy that you need to put out, if you're not lying to yourself about where you're headed, then this will be a lot easier for you to take in. And you could just take this and build off of it. But if you have to wake up and you have to lie to yourself, if you're telling yourself that you're in this current position because of family, because of friends, because of anyone else on this planet aside from yourself, then you're wasting time and you're wasting energy. We don't have time to point the finger. We don't have time to blame someone else for where we're at. And more importantly, we don't have time to deceive ourselves to the point where we play ourselves out of our current position. The best way to get somewhere is by being 100% authentic. Finding the crowd and the people that accept you for you so that you don't have to be somebody that you're not. But don't waste time lying. Don't waste time trying to build this image of somebody that you're not. And then at some point, when the real you comes out, everyone's surprised and everyone's shook. This is going to make it a lot harder for you in the long run. Be honest about your goals. Be realistic about your potential. Be straightforward about where you're headed. And if the work that you're putting in right now is actually enough for you to get to where you want to get. But if it isn't, then you could change that. That's the beauty in life, because you can literally fail your entire life, make the wrong decisions, and one day just snap out of it. You could have been lying to yourself this whole time, telling yourself that you're doing what's necessary to reach A, B, and C, or certain goals, and get things accomplished, but you know deep down inside you could have been doing more. It's time to let that form of lying go. Stop telling yourself that you're doing what's necessary in order to get somewhere and you're not. If you're not putting the work in, you're not putting the work in, and you're just not going to make it. If you are, then you reap what you sow, and at some point you will be rewarded for your hard work. But always be straightforward. Always be true to the quality of work that you're putting in, and keep in mind that the more honest that you are, the less likely you have to pretend or fake something in the long run. But the way that you overcome this form of self-deception is returning to your core values. What things truly matter to you? What do you represent? Who are you aside from everything that you've been pertaining or pretending to be thus far? Everything that you put out on this earth that 100% represents you, this is what you have to go back to. Because if you leave it for so long, then at some point, it's not going to be familiar to you anymore. Like I said earlier, if you continuously repeat bad habits, at some point, it's going to be a lot easier for you to do these things on a daily basis rather than doing what you know that you should be doing. Get back to the basics. Start being honest. One thing that I've always practiced within myself, and it's always just kept me in an honest headspace, is I'll always be realistic about where I'm going, about the work that I've put in, about the effort, and how much I'm doing to get there, because I don't want to lie to myself. And you don't want to be that person that lets yourself down, because in the back of your head, you're telling yourself one thing, you're telling yourself you're going to make it, and you're doing what's necessary, but in reality, you know deep down inside that you're not doing half of what's actually required to get there. It takes a lot more than we think to actually be successful. And that's why a lot of people never reach that true form of success, because they're not willing to sacrifice this form of lying. They're not willing to look at themselves in the mirror and take accountability for the work that they've done thus far, and then make the necessary adjustments so that they can see genuine and authentic results. If you do this, and I promise you, your life would change. If you be honest with everything that's around you, not even just yourself, with your friends, with your family, the people that you have around you, whoever, everybody will be in this state of just pure authenticity, and everyone will grow. Everyone. We all know that the truth hurts, but would you rather tell the truth, and would you rather be real, or would you rather wait and see a lie unfold 10 years down the line, and now it's something that you have to clean up? Your whole empire may break down based on that one lie that you told, 10 years ago. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't have the time for that. I don't have the time to be trying to remember certain lies that I've told, or things that I've put out into the world that I know 100% did not represent me and who I am. Focus on being you. Focus on building yourself into the person that, you don't have to turn to lying. You don't have to turn to any form of deception in order to be accepted. This is where the real work comes in, because now you have to do the work. Now you just can't talk. Now you just can't say that you're one thing and not actually be that thing, because the world will know. So I'll say all that to say, man, just really work on yourself and really take the time today and every day that you can to be 100% your authentic self. But in the long run, when you're not lying to yourself on a daily basis, it's much easier for you to deal with the results of your life, because you've done it through authenticity. You've made decisions out of pure honesty, and I don't know about y'all, but that's something that I could live with. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.